Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, you're most welcome to Tasty City. In today's recipe, we're going to be making some delicious ogbono soup, so please stay tuned and let's get cooking. To get started, I'll begin by soaking my dried fish with a bit of salt and warm water. I'll allow to sit for about a minute and then go give it a good rinse. So in here, I've got my proteins and I'm using some beef, some cow skin and cow tripe. You may use any protein you like. So to that, I'll add in my washed dried fish. I'll also go in with some chopped onion. Add in some habanero peppers, some salt to taste, and also some seasoning cube. Lastly, I'm going to be adding in some water. I'll give it a stir. Cover and allow to cook on a medium heat until the meat is about 80% cooked. So while the meat is cooking, I'll go ahead and blend my ogbono seeds, and I'm using about a cup of ogbono for this recipe. You can use more or less depending on the number of people you're cooking for or the quantity of soup you're making. And once I have the first batch smoothly blended, I'll transfer that into a bowl and then I'll repeat the process with the remaining. So now that I have all the ogbono seeds nicely blended, to that I'll pour in some red palm oil, enough to cook my soup, and the palm oil will help to dissolve any lumps in there. Alright, so I'll give it a good stir now until the ogbono is well incorporated with the palm oil, and then I'll set that aside for use later. Moving over to the next stage, I'm going ahead now to blend some Okpehe, some Uziza seeds and crayfish. I'm going to be blending these three together. I love the flavor of Uziza in soups. You can also use the leaves instead of the seeds, but however, it is totally optional just in case you don't care for Uziza leaves or the seeds, okay? For this recipe, I'll be using bitter leaf, and mine have been nicely washed already. You can use any other vegetable you like. I'm just going to go ahead and shred them into tiny pieces because I think they are too long. I don't like those, those long strands of bitter leaf. So I'm going to go ahead and shred them into little bits. So like I said, my bitter leaf is well washed, so please be sure to check yours to know the level of bitterness in it, just in case it needs a rewash, okay, before going into your pot of soup. So yeah, this is perfect. So back to the pot of meat. At this stage, I'm going to go ahead and take out the beef. If you have been following me for the longest time, you know I always love to grill my beef, okay? But yeah, this is totally optional. So I'm going to take out the beef and I'll send them to grill in the oven. Yeah, so I'm almost done taking out the beef from the stock, and grilling of this beef in the oven is totally optional, okay? And you can also fry the beef instead of grilling. So if you don't have an oven to grill your beef, you can also fry as well, okay? And if you don't care about whether the beef is grilled or fried, you can just skip this step, okay? So now I'm going to add in more water to the meat stock, enough water to cook my soup. Then I'm going to allow the water to come to a boil. Once it boils, I'm going to go ahead now and scoop in the blended ogbono and palm oil mix. Thank you all so much for tuning in to watch today's video. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and click the like button and subscribe. Thank you. So once the ogbono was well dissolved into the soup, next I added my bitter leaf. This bitter leaf I'm using is dried bitter leaf that I soaked in water, okay? But however, if you are using freshly washed bitter leaf, I would suggest you add the bitter leaf almost at the end of the cooking. And for the quantity of bitter leaf, you want to add according to how much you like it in your soup, okay? So I can't tell you how much to add. So add it according to how much you like in your soup, okay? Then once that is done, go ahead and give it a good stir, and you want to turn your heat temperature from medium to low, okay, so that the pot will not burn, and then allow it to cook for about 15 or 20 minutes. And be sure to stir in between those 15-20 minutes, okay, so that the pot will not burn. So 15 minutes later, and the beef is out from the oven. Our ogbono have cooked nicely as well. So at this stage, I'm just going to be transferring the grilled beef into the pot of soup. So now that I have all the grilled beef in there, next I'm going in with the blended crayfish, Okpehe, and Uziza seed blend. I'll also go in with some ground pepper, and I'll give everything a good mix to combine all ingredients. I'll be adjusting the consistency because I think the soup is quite too thick for me. But however, if you like yours this way, you don't need to adjust the consistency, okay? So I've just added about 1 cup of water. I'll give it a good stir now, taste and adjust my seasoning as well if needed. And then I'm going to allow this to cook on a medium heat for about 8 minutes. So 8 minutes later, and I'm back to finish up by adding some smoked or baked mackerel. Why not? If you know me, you know I love my mackerel fish, okay? So I'm just going to give that a gentle stir, allow to cook on a medium heat for about 3 minutes, and our ogbono soup will be ready. I paired mine with some eba or gari fufu, whichever one you call it, but you can pair this ogbono soup with any swallow of your choice. So thank you all so much for watching, and if you like this video, please go ahead and click the like button, and also subscribe if you are not yet already. Feel free to share with your family and friends. Until I see you next time with something delicious, enjoy and bye for now.